We'll get going here. Thanks everybody for joining us today. This is something that we've wanted to do to just really talk about the importance of what you're doing when you're at one of our gallery locations. You're representing the company and you are out there to not just be a host at a gallery. If we wanted to do that, we could hire somebody to just sit there and hand out brochures on our properties. The whole purpose of you being there is for you to meet potential clients, develop rapport with them, and be able to actually set an appointment and ultimately help them with the real estate needs and close a transaction. That's the only reason you're there. And a lot of times we're finding that there are people who don't quite understand why they're at a gallery, and they are there kind of a seat filler, hiding in the back of the gallery, not engaging, not talking to people, and really kind of wasting the time and the opportunity that they have to use a gallery shift as a way of building their business and building Berkshire Hathaway's business. So we're going to talk a little bit about today, more about why you're there, some of the things to be aware of when you're at the galleries. We're going to turn the time over to Melissa, who's our gallery manager, to discuss the specifics of each gallery, things you need to know in general about all the galleries, and things you need to know about each or some specific galleries that have some unique features to them. So we're recording this so that everybody can actually take advantage of this training later on. And as new people want to qualify to be at the galleries, they can watch this training and hopefully learn from it. Feel free to type in the chat any questions you have. We're going to try to monitor those chat and answer those questions, but we wanted to make sure that we are able to get through this in an hour. Jennifer is then going to follow Melissa, talking about humanity and the program itself that you use to schedule and how we're doing that, and a little bit of information about what the requirements are and all those types of things to sit at certain gallery locations. So with that, let's jump into it. As I mentioned, you're not a host. You're an agent and you're licensed to sell. The 007 reference there. You got your real estate license for a reason, not to be a host and just stand there and smile and not try to actually engage with clients to actually get a sale. You're there to hopefully gain a client and close a transaction with these people and help them with their real estate needs. So that is our primary objective. So what should we do? How should we be dressed when we go to the gallery? I would always say err on the side of caution. There's many people in Park City because we are a casual dressed group. Going in Park City attire and whatever that is to you is fine. But honestly, there's some people that wander into our galleries who may be taken back because they're coming from a more formal environment on the coasts. New York, even Florida. Sometimes these people that are in here might expect you to be dressed a little bit more professionally. So I would just think about that. I will just use a personal example. When I was in Florida, I tried to go to a couple of locations dressed in Park City casual, and I was denied entrance at the door. And was pretty shocked because I thought that it was a resort town, Miami, and there was nothing wrong with the way I was dressed, but the guy at the door said no. So I had to conform. But just think about who might walk in that door, err on the side of caution, and perhaps dress a little bit more appropriately when you're going to a gallery. Always err on the side of caution and, try to, make sure that whoever walks to the door that you're appropriate. Who can you bring to your shift? Do not bring friends. Do not bring children. I would not recommend bringing dogs. That may or may not impress that person walking in. They may have an aversion to that and to dogs and or children for that matter, but you're there to be professional. And I think you need to be prepared to actually engage with them and hopefully have them be impressed with you and want to work with you. And all those things are distractions. There is a safety element when you're at a gallery. How many of you, just by in the chat, are well aware of the Real Safe Agent product that we all have through the Park City Board? You can just type in the chat really quick. And how many of you actually have it on your phone? Great. I'm seeing some people on here know about it. Others don't know about it. So we're going to spend just a little bit of time talking about it. As part of paying your board dues and a member of the Park City Board, the Park City Board of Realtors actually adopted this program, and every one of us has access to it, not free of charge, but by paying your board dues. And the Real Safe Agent product, you can actually download the app. You go to the Park City Board of Realtors as you're logging into Flex, scroll down before you click on Flex, and there's an icon there for Real Safe Agent. There are 2 training videos there, and there's great information there about how to use the app. There was a real concerted effort, I guess it was about 2 years ago when they first launched this, to have every agent install this app on their phone and know how to use it and put it into showing mode whenever you're actually at a gallery. I'll be completely honest with you. We don't have many problems at the gallery, but we did have a problem just recently. And I got a call late on a Saturday night as the person was trying to close the gallery. Someone was in there and really causing some discomfort. And the agent was able to get the person to leave the gallery, but then ran to her car, and the person was following her to her car. So that should never happen. We should be prepared to call the police or prepared to use this app. It's really not intrusive. It's designed to keep you safe. The features on your phone, and we're going to play a quick 4-minute video here so that you're actually familiar with the actual product and how it works. This is part of the training video, but we're just going to watch 4 minutes of it here. I can't hear it, Jen. See if she can.
Sorry about that. Hang on 1 second. Let me try it again. It is sharing computer sound. And then Kevin, when it does switch over to the app part, it's a little bit harder to hear as well. Right. But let's see if this works.
You all may want to turn up your volume as well, because there's one section in here that's really soft.
All right.
You went, oh my goodness, something's not right here. Or it might have been started out fine. Yep. All of a sudden, somebody said something, somebody did something, right? And your gut kind of goes, wait a minute. We've all had that feeling, haven't we? Okay, something's not right. I can't tell you exactly what's not right. Something's not right here. Okay? And then what happens? We ignore it. Okay? We need to stop ignoring that. That is your instinct telling you that something is wrong here. Something's not quite right, but we ignore it. Agents tell us flat out that they will stay in an uncomfortable situation for fear of losing a sale. So they're going to stay there and hope that this person is just socially awkward and it's not going to get any worse. Well, guess what? When you are uncomfortable is when you need to do something about it. If you wait until you're scared to speak up or do something, you've waited far too long. But before our system, you start to feel uncomfortable. How do you gracefully get out of that situation without offending somebody, blowing up the sale, or making matters worse because now you've irritated somebody that's potentially dangerous? Okay? Well, there really wasn't a way to do that. But now what I can do is I can issue a drop-in alert as soon as I become uncomfortable before it escalates to now I'm scared. Okay, so that's the big thing. Act as soon as you become uncomfortable in a way that will not offend someone or blow up your sale.
Hi, Carl. I'm Barbara. You look just like you do in your picture.
I'm going to turn up your volume here.
If you become uncomfortable with the prospect for any reason, simply press and hold anywhere on the screen for 3 seconds to issue a drop-in alert, indicating that you are uncomfortable and need someone to casually drop in. The alert is sent to 3 groups, any friends and family you choose to put into the system. These are people you want to keep informed. All the agents on the system that are in the alert area, these are people who are close to you and can get there quickly. And any watch commanders at your brokerage, association, and MLS. Friends and family will receive a text message with link notifying them of the alert, your location, and if any agents are responding. When an agent responds, friends and family, watch commanders, and the issuing agent are notified. Notice that the blue icon on the alerting agent's phone has changed from 0 to 1. The responding agent is presented with a map that contains their real-time GPS location and that of the alerting agent, the agent's name and picture. Additionally, responding agents can listen and see what's going on at the alert site so that responding agents don't unwittingly walk into a dangerous situation.
Well, yeah, I think it's a really good floor plan for you and your family base back there.
This also allows people listening to call the police if they hear that the police are needed. When the responding agent arrives, he or she can casually enter the property as if they were just previewing, preventing a crime if the prospect was not, without endangering the sale if the prospect wasn't.
Isn't he good at being creepy? I swear. He's actually an actor, and he was told to be creepy, and I think he just knocked that one right out of the park, didn't he? Okay. All right, so I become uncomfortable in a situation. All I have to do is press and hold on that screen for 3 seconds. Here's my visual cues. The green went to red. That lets me know that I've sent the drop-in alert. And then when somebody's coming to help me, that 0 goes to 1. So that lets me know that somebody's on their way to help me, okay? So again, completely discreet, right? Okay, there's no big alarm button or panic button or anything like that, but I know that someone's coming. Now we have what's called a rolling 2. Okay, when one maximum of 2 agents respond to your drop-in alert, the rest of them, it will stop notifying them. It will say thank you for your participation because we don't need 18 people showing up.
Okay, good, Jen. So this is a really cool product that you just have on your phone. It's an app. Like I said, it's all paid for by the Park City Board of Realtors. We all have access to it. But anytime that you're at an open house or at a gallery, if you have that app in showing mode and you feel uncomfortable just by pressing the screen on your phone, which is very, discreet so that the person that's in the gallery doesn't know you're doing it, someone will stop by and check on you. And they'll just walk in and, those people who have the app have been on the training know exactly what to do. And that's a great safety net to have. And I just think you owe it to yourself and to your family and your loved ones to have that on there and make sure that you have the ability to use the product when you need it. It doesn't happen often, but I just worried me the other night when this call came in late on a Saturday night as the bars were closing and they were leaving the gallery. That was just not a good situation that she was in. So let's avoid that and get the app on our phones if you're planning on doing that. Okay, so let's just talk about a more cheery situation where somebody walks in, and let's talk about how to attract people in. I got some great feedback from Stella Canzano, Michael Koopman, and Heidi, who shared some just invaluable information. I'll be glad to share all that with you. But they say they prop the door open. They have music playing. Heidi gears the music to the time of day. And we're going to have music at each of our galleries, according to Melissa, who just made that possible. Thank you, Melissa. And making it an inviting environment. We have coffee makers at each one of the locations, and inviting people in, particularly this time of year. A quick warm-up cup of coffee or something, or hot chocolate would be a great way of just kind of building rapport quickly with the people. Michael says in the Main Street one, he loves actually taking people to the topo map there and asking them where they're staying. It's a great icebreaker, a way to just talk to them about, well, let's see, you're staying over here on the topo, and kind of showing them that is a great opportunity to kind of start a conversation with them. A lot of times they're not really thinking about real estate. Other times they come there very focused and want to know more about real estate in Park City. So your job is just to really kind of strike up a conversation, ask them some general questions, like Michael said, about where they may be staying, how long they're in town, are they in a property they own, or are they in a property that they're renting, and those types of questions that will be able for them to respond with in a conversation. Really what we're doing is we're trying to find a need, and then once we understand the need, offer to fulfill that need with a solution, and ultimately set an appointment where we could possibly go show them property. That's just everybody does that differently, but that is the basic premise of what we're doing. And the feedback I got from Heidi was just so good. She says, I view the gallery as my own home, and I'm welcoming them into my own home, making them feel comfortable, making sure that I talk to them about, I get up from the desk, I greet them at the door as they walk in. I try to build rapport and talk about what interested they're in. If I get that opportunity to have the conversation, I look for areas of commonality, things we may have in common, so it's easy to talk to them. Then I show them the beautiful topo. I talked to them about the expansion that Park City's had recently. I talked to them about the different ski areas. She just kind of shares information, and she occasionally goes to the computer and pulls up the satellite, Google Earth, and shows them where we are in comparison to where their home is. And that's really attractive to people with kids. She then asks them if they're interested in Park City real estate and offers to share her app with them. I think this is a great icebreaker. What it does is it actually allows you to send the app to their phone number so that they can then use the app as they're visiting Park City and going around, even might be skiing at the canyons and going by homes, and they can actually open the app and see what the home values are around them. Rather than them using Zillow or other apps that are available out there, if they have your app, if they're interested in any of the homes, they can click on contact agent. It's not going to the listing agent on that particular home that they might be in front of, that's coming to you directly. And you have an opportunity to talk to them about the actual property and give them more information and possibly set up a showing. So sharing the app with them is great. The next thing that she does is she actually shares with them the Utah Properties Guide. Oops, let me see if I can hold that up where you can see it. And we all know where that is right there. And staples her card to it. Again, rather than giving that to them, some people are concerned about taking something physically with them. She'll offer to send them the digital version. Her goal is simple. She wants to get their email address, and if sharing the app, she's got their phone number, and she has an opportunity to connect with them and stay in touch with them going forward. So she gets many. There you go. Melissa's got the Utah Property Guide, holding it up, and my background blacked it out there for you. But a great thing to have in the gallery. Melissa makes sure that their galleries are stocked with those. It's a great thing to share with them. But if you can share it with them digitally, now you've got their email address and you can follow up with them and continue the conversation long after they've gone back to their hometown. The other thing that you can do to kind of break the ice is, just really talk to them about their family, about their occupation, about recreation, and about their dream home. That's called the Ford system. FORD is family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. That always is easy to follow and continue a conversation and get them to open up and tell you what their needs are, what their dreams are, and you then propose a solution and how they might achieve that. That's just a real simple sales technique, which gives you something to talk about and, has an opportunity to build rapport with these people very quickly. One thing we want you to kind of pay attention to is the actual secret shoppers that enter our developer galleries. They're usually developers or friends of the developers who might be visiting them. If they walk into the gallery and ask about a specific development and you don't know anything about that development, we might have a problem. That's why we do our development training and have all of you go through the development training and know about our developers and the development, so that you can actually pop open your development book. Each of you, after doing the training, received this development book. You should have it with you so that you actually have the information about each one of the developments, about the types of properties in that development, about the fees, about the amenities, all those types of things, so that you are an expert on that development. So our secret shoppers don't report back to the developer that, hey, I visited a gallery and the agent there knew nothing about your project. That could be deadly. And we don't want to get into those situations. And that's one thing we promise all of our developers, that any agent sitting in our galleries will know about our development product. Okay. Let's see, let's jump into some of the do's and don'ts. Do not store items in galleries for clients. If you're in one near a ski resort and they say, hey, can I leave my backpack here? Can I leave my luggage here? Please don't do that. I got a call after someone had left a gallery recently from somebody frantic that they resort had closed and all of their car keys and everything in their backpack. And I had to figure out how to get into the gallery and go let them have their bag. Don't do that. It's a security issue and we don't want to be giving into actually doing those types of activities for clients that would create a problem down the road. I know you're trying to help, but politely say no to that. The other thing I'd like to just talk to you about is if you sign up for a shift, please show up for the shift. We used to have check-in and check-out on the Humanity system, so we know when people were there. But we found some of the agents were actually signing in from home and signing out from home and never actually showing up at the gallery. If you understand how expensive and important it is for us to have these spaces in a resort town, you'll understand the importance of actually keeping those spaces open to the public. And the perception in the community is that if they come to walk past our gallery and it's closed, no one's there, that we just really aren't interested in their business. If you sign up for a shift and you can't drop it on Humanity, try to find a replacement for it. Somebody will most likely pick up your shift, but do it in advance, not 15 minutes before, so that we actually can have our galleries open and have a good image in the community on Main Street and Redstone and any of the galleries. Make sure that we actually look like that we are ready for business and that we are welcoming them to town. If you think about it, our competition may have their gallery open down the street and we don't have our gallery open. That really looks bad. And these are some of the most expensive spaces to lease because they're very high visibility, high traffic areas. And your responsibility when you sign up for a shift is to show up and fulfill that shift and try to get business while you're there. We are also talking to our IT department, again, along the safety aspect of installing some webcams in these galleries so that we actually can make sure that if somebody is having a problem, we could look in. We may know whether you were there at the shift or not. And we want to make sure that, we're keeping our agents safe and that we're actually keeping the galleries open as often as possible. We know there's circumstances where it may not be possible, but let us know if you're not going to be able to attend the shift, but please try to fulfill it or find your own replacement if you're unable to do it. Let's turn the time over to Melissa to talk about each individual gallery.
Thanks, Kevin, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us. I'm glad you're here. I think that I'll just start with the galleries that we have for floor time right now and just go through them really quickly with a couple of comments on each from myself. 354 Main, that is at the top of Main Street near 350 Main. It is a great place to sit for, but I still often go during the day and it's locked. And I see people going by, people stopping to look at the flyers, testing the door, but nobody's there. And there is a Bose speaker there if you want to play music. It hooks up with your Bluetooth. And sorry, I was reading. And so, but that probably is one of our most popular ones. There is coffee available there. There's music available there, as I just mentioned. We can't have signage that one because we can't have signage on Main Street, but the doors can prop open. We also have the beautiful Red Ledges Gallery there. That TV is a little tricky right now. Dallas is working on it. And we're hoping to have a new system in place soon, within the next day or two, so that we don't have to worry.
You mentioned a lot of times agents will think they're doing the right thing by shutting off all the TVs when they leave. And then the next agent that comes in doesn't know how to turn them on, so they don't turn them on, and the gallery's sitting there dark.
Well, all of our parents told us to turn off the TV and the lights before we left the room. So
you know, but when you're doing gallery, leave it alone. Don't touch the TVs. Leave them on.
But that brings us to the point. Do turn on the lights and do turn off the lights, but not all of them. Like at PCMR, we leave the lamps on. And so I have made a sheet that Jen is going to post. It's a PDF that goes over each of the galleries. It has how you get in, what the key code is, what if there's a security code. That being said, we don't have any alarms on any of our floor galleries. At Redstone, though, there is a secondary door that does have a 4-digit code. So all of that is in the gallery information PDF that she just threw up. And so that'll go over things point by point. So another one, though, that I think is really underused is our town lift. That's where people get on the lift. People are there. I go in there and it looks like people haven't been in there in weeks. And
hey, Melissa, I think we have a sandwich board, the sign that we can put out at town lift.
That's so right.
Putting out, you know, real estate information available, or agent on duty, whatever it says, it is there, and you should you put that out there and prop the door open.
Exactly.
Encourage people to come in.
It can't go down on Main Street though, but it can go up near the door on the little patio. And in the summer, it's so awesome because the side door opens and, you know, that's where the butcher's patio is, but there's a little bench out there as well. And so, you know, you can sit out there and have a cup of coffee and enjoy the beautiful sunshine and meet some people. So I like town lift. 1700, I think another great underused property. That Starbucks is busy even now, you know, people pick up. We used to get the park record delivered there, but I stopped having it delivered because I got so sick of taking them from the ground unlooked at and putting them in the recycle unlooked at. But if you had the newspaper there and people are going in for a cup of coffee, you know, that's a great way to say, hey, you know, want a copy of our local newspaper, blah, 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 and go from there. And it's a beautiful gallery. It's a nice place to sit. That brings us up to PCMR that Patrick helps me take such good care of, and I appreciate that very much. The parking on that one's a little tricky. So that's probably its biggest drawback, but you know, you can take a bus up, you can have a significant other drop you off, you can park lower and take a nice walk, you know, or maybe you'll get parking if you're lucky. So there's that one. And then we have Redstone, and that's the one with the secondary code that is in the gallery information PDF. And we did have work done there yesterday. So I did get a message that it was dirty. The pipe had burst underneath the sink and we had to find somebody to get the water main turned off. And I had construction people in there. So I'll be going out today to make sure that everything's put back together and that we are ready to welcome guests.
Great. So Melissa, the different locations sometimes are more productive at different hours.
Yes.
And we're going to be looking at maybe changing some of the hours on the humanity shifts to match the times when they're most busy, and maybe have smaller gallery shifts say at Redstone, it's busier in the evening when all those restaurants, people are going to and from the restaurants and the theaters and everything there. That's the busiest time at Redstone. The busiest time at 1700 is the morning. Starbucks, right. Coffee, and everybody should be doing that. Obviously, Main Street is busier in the evening, but Town Lift is busy throughout the day. So there's lots of different times, and you should be signing up for shifts that are in those times. We're going to be adjusting some of those times to match when people are there.
Thanks, Kevin. And also listed on the gallery information sheet is my cell phone number and my email. And I am the point of information for you, of help for you. If there's emergencies, if the boiler has exploded, if there is something wrong with the gallery, if you're missing coffee or paper or any of those things, please feel free to text me. I'm on the phone all day, so a lot of times calls go to voicemail, but my texts are always there. Emails work. We do have a PDF that goes out the first of the month for supplies, and there's usually a point person at each office that I give that to. But if you need supplies, just go ahead and send me a note. You know, obviously we don't get candy or crazy things, but we do toner and coffee cups and sugar and creamers and, you know, all those sort of things to help you be a good host or hostess.
Great. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks for what you do to keep our galleries looking good. If you're missing developer brochures or anything like that, she can get them over there right away. But we want to make sure that we have all the information available there for you to use.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much, Melissa. Everybody, if you look in the chat, you can see the gallery information sheets that Melissa put together for you all that she was referring to. Those are going to be an incredible resource for you. Those are also now saved in Humanity. So you all did get a lot of training emails via Humanity from me this morning. I do apologize for the excess amount of emails, but we wanted to make sure that you all have this information in a centralized location for you when you're working a gallery shift, and maybe you can't remember which key to use to get into a building or what the Wi-Fi password is. We get that question a lot. It's always the same Wi-Fi password, but that's on that gallery information sheet that Melissa put together. So again, thanks so much, Melissa, for all you do for BHHS and all of our gallery locations and putting that together for the team.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you very much. And thanks everybody for your nice words in the comments.
And just kind of to recap how you can work at our gallery locations, Kevin talked to you all about this. You all are familiar with the development training that Beth and Diane put together for the brokerage, but we do still frequently get asked questions of how you can work at our gallery locations. Sometimes this is from agents just joining the brokerage. So first, you want to make sure all of your onboarding paperwork's complete with me. We don't want to jump the gun just yet. We want to get you into all of our systems so that you can properly assist a client when they do come into a gallery location. So once your onboarding's completed, you will complete your development training sign-off sheet. So development training's done twice a year, and if you miss development training, you'll refer to the development training sign-off sheet, and I'll get that into Humanity as well, and that's shared with new agents, and you'll contact those development agents to educate you on each project. Once you have a fully signed off sheet, you'll get that over to Beth Reinhardt and myself. Beth will provide you with that digital flip book, and then I'll get you added into Humanity, which is our scheduling software program. So once you're added into Humanity, you'll receive some training of how to work Humanity, how to sign up for shifts, and then we'll also provide you with gallery keys at that time. So you'll have everything you need to work at our gallery locations. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you a couple of things here in Humanity. Just a quick note, there are some locations that not all agents are qualified to work. That location would be Snow Park. I get a lot of questions about how to work at Snow Park, pick up shifts. Those scheduled shifts were completed back in October. And so those agents that are qualified to work at Snow Park, it was based on production for a 12-month period, a certain amount of sales, and then the top 30 agents in that production criteria were eligible to pick up Snow Park shifts. So that schedule was already completed for the winter by one of our brokers. It was already scheduled and posted. So I am not able to assist you if you think you do now qualify for Snow Park or want to work at Snow Park. We can't put you into the Snow Park schedule for this winter. That's already been completed. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go into Humanity here. Hang on one second. I'll get out of this.
Jen, while you're queuing that up, one of the things I forgot to mention, if you're on a floor shift and someone walks in and says, hey, I'm looking for Patrick Giblin, and they've already met him at a previous shift or something like that, our policies and procedures and in your independent contractor agreement are that we would always try to get them in touch with that agent. We never try to steal or direct them to use us versus the agent they've already been talking with. So that's just a common courtesy to your fellow gallery agents, is making sure that if they have a relationship with somebody in our company already, that you try to get them in touch with them. And you can find them on the internet, you can find them on the website, you can actually just do whatever to try to get them to that agent so they can continue the conversation with the agent they're already working with. It's not our goal to actually steal clients when we're on Main Street and somebody's client walks in.
Thanks, Kevin. And so I'm going to go ahead and review a little bit about Humanity. I did make a couple of recent changes to Humanity this morning to add in some training for you all. But you can go into Humanity and click on training topics down here in the left-hand corner. You can also click on training right here in the middle. So if we click on training topics down here, you can see that we have gallery location information. That's those great PDFs that Melissa put together for you all. You can just select this attachment here and download that. You can save it to your desktop. I can go over here and see our overachievers and who's already completed this. So Andy Baker, Diana, Jennifer, Lauren, Nicole, Patrick, they've already completed this training and downloaded that. We can go in and see Humanity training. This is a great tool that will kind of show you all how to operate Humanity, how to pick up shifts, how to set up your profile. So go ahead, go into Humanity, select that login. It'll provide you with this PDF attachment of how to work at our gallery locations and pick up shifts for gallery locations. We also know how to have the real safe agent videos in Humanity as well. So that's just a quick overview of Humanity and the training that you all need to complete in Humanity first. You want to make sure that you also download the Humanity app on your phone. There is a Humanity app that's going to be much quicker and easier for you all to go in and pick up shifts. By just having that on your phone, you'll get reminders of when your shift is, where it is, and when you look at the gallery location, it contains the address of that gallery, because we do get a lot of calls of where the gallery is. And it also contains the key box code for that gallery, or the key code. So if you look at your BHHS keys, a lot of them have letters imprinted on the back of the key. So you'll see M for Main Street. All of those key codes are on the back of your keys. So that's also included in Humanity. And again, you get your gallery keys from the Saddle View office once you've completed your developer training, if you are new to BHHS, and then all of our other agents should have gallery keys already. If you don't, please let me know. We'll make sure that you get a gallery key set to work at all of our galleries. You do pick up and release all shifts directly in Humanity. We get a lot of calls to the office staff of agents letting us know that they're sick or they have a sick child or a scheduling conflict. But with the high volume amount of shifts that we do have, unfortunately, we're not able to assist in helping you swap shifts. You want to use the app for that and go directly into Humanity and release your shifts and pick up shifts via the app. We did make a recent change to where you will no longer clock in and clock out for your shifts. We did find that unfortunately some agents were able to clock in from remote locations, and it did provide a GPS location. So you might have clocked in showing that you were at Redstone, but I could map you down in Salt Lake. So we are all ethical people. We trust you all. You are on the honor system. If you pick up a shift, you need to be there for your full shift, for the full amount of your shift. And we're not going to have you clock in and out anymore for your shifts, because if you pick it up, you should be there. So that feature has been disabled for now. Also too, with kind of COVID changing some of our gallery work environments, you now pick up shifts. So if you're not feeling well or anything like that, you should release those shifts directly in Humanity, but you no longer need to put in your leave or vacation or let me know your availability schedule for Humanity as you pick up and release your own shifts. If you have any questions on this, feel free to just type those into the chat right now. And then I wanted to explain to you all what a virtual shift is. We get a lot of questions. We have 2 virtual shifts in Humanity. That's virtual for the Park City area, and then we have virtual for the Heber Valley area. And we get a lot of questions about if you can work remote. Let's say you were in Montana and you want to work a virtual shift. Please do not pick up virtual shifts if you are not in the Park City area or surrounding area. You do need to be in Park City or the Heber Valley area to be able to meet up with a client to do showings if you're working virtual shifts. So while it is nice that everybody can work remote right now, there are certain things that you do still need to be in town and present for. So the virtual shifts do qualify for shifts that you need to be in town to pick up. You are all allowed 3 weekend shifts and 3 weekday shifts per month. So when I post the schedule, you can go in and pick up 3 weekend shifts and 3 weekday shifts prior to the 5th of each month. And then after the 5th of each month, you can pick up an unlimited amount of shifts that are remaining. We do get a lot of questions about, you know, does Friday count as a weekend or a weekday shift? We base it off of the normal Monday through Friday are considered weekday shifts, and then Saturday and Sunday are your weekend shifts. We are posting the schedule by the 20th of each month. I know that I have not always been great about that based on business levels and staffing levels. Patrick Giblin agrees, but I am working on that. So we do always try to prioritize processing your listings, contracts, and closings. But now that the schedule is that you are picking up shifts, if you feel that I've posted the schedule by the 20th and that's too late for you, you can pick up shifts later that following month, as the schedule does go through part of the next month. So right now, when you go into Humanity, you can see that the schedule does go through that first week of March in Humanity. It's Saturday to Sunday that the schedule is posted for. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. I do get a lot of calls from agents that ask for a friendly heads up of when I'm going to post the schedule. Exactly what date and time I'm going to post the schedule, or they'll call and say, hey, just a reminder, you need to post the schedule. I am aware that I do have to post the schedule each month. And while I certainly appreciate those check-ins and reminders, it does kind of back us up a little bit further. So if you can just be patient and wait for that schedule to be posted by the 20th of each month, I sincerely appreciate that.
Yeah, and there was a question there. We're going to continue to allow people just to sign up with the 3 weekend and 3 weekdays, rather than assigning those shifts to them through the system. We've done that particularly due to COVID, because there's so many people that are qualified on the system, but that don't want to actually do the shifts. So we're filling them that way for the foreseeable future.
Yes, thanks, Kevin. And yeah, due to everybody's situations changing daily and family situations changing daily due to health, we don't want to put anybody in an uncomfortable situation to where they feel like they're required to work a certain day when they might not be feeling well. So that is why we have done that. You can pick up the shifts that you are comfortable working when you are comfortable working those via Humanity. And again, please just remember that you will release all shifts via Humanity and trade shifts via Humanity. So please don't call the office staff to help you do that. Again, we do want to prioritize processing your listings and contracts and closing payments to you all. So please maintain your own schedule through the Humanity app, which you can also sync to your calendar. And that's included in that shift planning training that's in Humanity.
Hey, Jen, Israel had a question. If she's on the virtual shift and a shift comes open on Main Street, she grabs that. Could she be virtual and sitting at 354 at the same time, or drop one of them?
No, she should just take one shift. They should not overlap at the same time, just because if the virtual client asks you to go meet them to show them a property right away, we do still need somebody to man the gallery location on Main Street. So we don't want agents to pick up virtual and another floor shift at the same time.
That answer your question, Jennifer.
And then we do just want to make sure that you all lock our gallery locations. So it goes back to treating the galleries as if they're your home. So, you know, setting everything up from the music and how you work and everything as if it's your home. And then just making sure that you leave the gallery as you found it for the next agent. So leaving it tidy for the next agent that comes along, putting the key back into the key box if it's a key boxed location when you leave, and you do have to change the key box code to lock it. We kind of thought that went without being said, but we have had a lot of calls that galleries are not locked up, the keys aren't placed in the key box for the next agent, and the code's not spun to where it is a locked and secure location. So please just make sure you, again, treat these as if they're your home, lock the galleries when you depart, and leave those tidy for the next agent that comes along. We know that.
I have one thing there, Jen.
Yeah.
Don't forget to bring your signs back in. If you have the A-frames that are on the sidewalk or next to the open door, please don't leave those outside. They're really expensive to replace, and we appreciate you bringing those back in.
Melissa, thank you. I'm glad you added that in. And especially if you work at the Snow Park location, those sandwich boards are not allowed to be left outside. So make sure that you pull those back into the gallery and lock those up before you leave.
Exactly.
Another thing too is don't hold any personal items for clients in our galleries. We've had this come up this winter where people have asked to drop off a bag or maybe ski boots or something like that to be held in the gallery location for a little bit. Please do not take on the responsibility of holding any personal items. I'd say treat it like an airport, and you don't want to be responsible for having somebody else's bag in your possession. So please don't put those in our gallery locations.
Jennifer, you had a question.
It wasn't a question. I actually wanted to mention to people. I've got a chance to meet a lot of agents that just started with our company. And a lot of people who started at Main Street don't know that there's a back door and there's a door that can be unlocked. I personally always, especially if I'm working the 5 to 9 shift, I go back there and make sure the door is locked. I just don't like the idea that there's an alleyway back there that people come in, and I lock it and show all the lights downstairs and close that door. So people don't know that there's a way to get back there, that if they want to grab my purse and run back down the stairs. And it just makes me feel a little safer. And I just want to make sure people know about
Thanks,
that.
Jennifer.
That's great. Thanks.
Great.
That's a great point, Jennifer. And something that if you are new to the brokerage, before you go work one of our gallery locations, try to swing into that gallery prior to your shift when another one of our agents is working. You can kind of get the feel for the location, see where items are when there's another agent in the gallery location to kind of help walk you through that gallery before you go to your first gallery shift.
And Jen, I'd just like to add to the it's just really your responsibility to educate yourself on the properties around that gallery. I think that is one of the things that is most important that came from Stella's feedback that she gave us and from Michael Koopman. When they go there, they actually study on all the available properties around Redstone or around, the Main Street location, around 1700. So they're really familiar with those properties and right around that particular gallery. Knowing what's available and looking at the MLS and having the MLS open and looking for those properties right around there so they can do two things. One, when they're speaking with authority about what is available and what's around there and the price ranges, they're more confident in talking and, conversing with these people. That breeds confidence in the person talking to them and saying, hey, you seem really competent. You know your stuff. I'd like to work with you. That's one of the things that your homework, every time you sign up for a shift, is doing a little homework before you go there so that you're ready to answer those questions and really be of value to that particular client so that they may want to work with you and first take the next step. So that's an important thing. And thank you, Stella, for that. That's one of the things you stressed in what you sent me is be prepared, know your product, know your market, and do your homework before you go to that gallery. Don't just go there and be a seat filler. But thank you. That's how you get your business, Stella, is being prepared. Thank you.
I'm going to add one more comment about the gallery flyers since you were talking about them. Yeah. In another time and another place, those were all switched out weekly. We do not have the listings for that right now, and I don't want empty spaces. So do make sure that you might double check to see if that home has been sold, because we do have some, even 5 days, a lot of them are out of date now, but we've got to have things in the windows. So it used to be you could pretty much guarantee that all of those were current listings on the market, but we can't guarantee that right now. Just not enough houses.
Selling too fast.
Are selling them too fast. And yep, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I did want to clarify too on the virtual shifts for you all. There were some questions that I was just reading through on the chat. Again, those are calls that come into our main line Monday through Friday, and then we would connect those calls with your cell phone. So that was one of the questions on virtual is how do you get those calls? So there are no virtual shifts on the weekends and on holidays for that reason, because there's not a staff member here that connects those calls to you all.
Wonderful.
Great. Is there any other questions that anybody wants to type in the chat there? We just really want to make sure that you are getting the information that you need. If you're prepare before you go to a shift, ask these questions, and want to make sure that everybody is well equipped to do what you're supposed to do at the gallery, which is get business, make appointments, make friends, and be the hostess with the mostest, having the information in your possession so that you can actually develop relationships and turn these people into clients. That's the reason that we're there.
Kevin, we had a great question on COVID protocols in our gallery locations. Are masks required in our gallery locations?
They are.
Yes, absolutely. Kevin can probably explain a little bit more, but we do not want other agents, brokerages reporting us for not following COVID protocols. We want to keep all of our office and gallery locations open. So please wear your masks. Melissa has masks, hand sanitizer in place at all gallery locations.
Right. If somebody walks in, you must have your mask on. If you're in there all by yourself and on the phone or whatever, but the second public walks in, that mask goes on. You offer the mask and the sanitizer to the client that's coming in. If somebody reports us, we could get that gallery shut down. There's actually an ordinance from the Summit County Health Department. We have to follow that ordinance. It's not optional. So please do not get our gallery closed by not following those rules. And honestly, we want to be viewed as the brokerage that is being safe, following the rules, and looking out for our clients. So please don't even attempt to greet somebody without a mask on. Any other questions in the on 354 Main, Diana asked, could we put a sign or something, the agent on duty on Main? They don't allow us to actually have a sandwich board out on Main Street. Is that right, Melissa?
Yes, that is correct. But what we could do, there's just an open and close sign in the door that says open half the time when it's closed and closed half the time when it's open. So maybe that goes away, and I make a nice sign that could go in that location, you know, just on the front door that says agent on duty. And then if you guys could please put that on the desk when you're no longer on duty for the next station to put up. I think that's a great idea, Diana. Thank you.
Great. We just have a few minutes left. If anybody else has any other questions, just type it in the chat and we can unmute you if you need to, or we're happy to just answer it from the chat. Let's give everybody just a couple of minutes to type if there are any, but if there's no other questions, we can end the meeting, but thank you all.
Thanks, everybody.
I agree, Susan, our admin staff rock. Melissa and Jen just do an incredible job. We thank you for all you do to make the galleries as successful as they are.
That's very sweet. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
Thanks
everybody for attending today, and good luck at the galleries. Go get some new clients and sign up for those shifts, and let's keep them all open and looking great. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.